Welcome to my arty update. I'm just going to talk you through everything I've been drawing over the last month and a little bit of chit chat as well. I've been very annoyed with Hobbycraft over the last few weeks, but more on that later. But to start with, I'll show you through my sketchbook. This is the end of book 12. I made a note to say that I was up to page 53. I've been doing some of these doodling amoebas again. I've also done one of these for a Let's Doodle, which I don't know when it's going to be published, but I think it's in the next couple of weeks. So this one, I just used a bright pink marker pen. It had a bullet tip and it was pretty awful to get right up to the edges, but for colours and ideas, totally fine. And this one, yeah, I had a lot of bleed through with the marker pen. I came across the marker pens in my pencil pots when I was tidying up and I thought, well, I should give them a go again, so I did. This one, yeah, just playing around with some different ideas, just putting some random lines and circles on the page. This one, with my Zentangle florals, I was trying to come up with some different patterns. Some of these I found on a doodle cheat sheet, so I didn't make all these up myself. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. If you do a Google search for doodling flowers, you'll come up with all sorts of things. I think these ones were from like a folk art type sheet of different flowers. But yeah, it was just an exercise in trying to find some new patterns that I could use in the future. And so I took the ones I liked and tried to put them together. The dragonfly again. What did I use there? Just my coloured pencils on those ones. And then, I've been feeling these dragonflies are too big. They're fine, but I kind of wanted something a bit smaller. And on some of my other drawings, I've made them a bit smaller. These ones that I did for my full process videos. That one and that one. I made them a bit smaller, but what I thought I'd do was, yeah, just try and come up with some different kinds of dragonflies really, but still trying to retain some of the Zentangle patterns. So these are a little bit more, they're not realistic at all, are they? But they're different shapes and different patterns. And again, I was using some of the flowers that I did from this just rough page back here. I really like these two. And that one needs to be a bit longer. Shame I didn't get it on the page, but I used my Decatime colouring pencils for that one. And yeah, I'm going to do some more of those, I think. Then I tried another dragonfly with different shaped wings and don't like this one at all. For this, right. So I like having a good scavenge in my local charity shops, my second-hand shops, and I came across a whole stack of these stencils. There was more than this. I have given some away because I didn't want them, but I got all those stencils for like £2, and I don't know if you can see here, this pattern here, I did just kind of trace round as a stencil. I've got plans to use these stencils as backgrounds. I'm going to do some sponge painting or something with them. I think that'll be quite fun. Then I took the shape of the stencil, this leaf shape, and created it up here just to extend the vine. So basically I've used a pre-existing template and developed it into a more interesting kind of Zentangle floral pattern. I don't like the butterfly. And this one, right. So I have been going through all my old sketchbooks, I think I've mentioned that before, and taking a look at the pictures that I liked and seeing if I can develop them into something a little bit more interesting. Mostly because I've learned a lot from my early sketchbook days, and I'd like to try and bring some of the new things that I brought in to some of the older things that I enjoyed doing. So I really love this little pattern here on this one. The rest of the picture is nothing to write home about, but I really did like this little pattern here. So I went on to develop that a little bit further. And that is the end of book 12. So, book 13. Right, I've got issues. Before I go on to book 13, I will just say that all I've bought this month is this sketchbook and some more paint, one tub of fuchsia paint. And this sketchbook I picked up from Hobbycraft. It's my usual one. I haven't numbered it yet. It's book 13. And I went back to the circle slices that I was doing towards the middle of to the end of last month, and I've also been working on these quite a lot, and I'll show you those in a second. I've done a few full process videos to stack to show you over August as well. These are so much fun to do. It's like I'm making sections and then figuring out what part of those sections I actually want to use. It's a really interesting exercise. Then I just played around with some circles and shapes. I used my Inktense pencils with these, and I used them with a paper palette, but something wasn't quite right. Things weren't really working for me. I felt like I was picking up paper fibres as I was working, and then when I flicked back here I realised that I'd got some bleed through with the Inktense, and I haven't experienced that with my previous sketchbook, but at this point I kind of let it go. Love this. I used my Inktense pencils again. And I don't know if you can see here, I've got all these little speckles on the page. Not really sure what's happened to my Inktense here. The paper never used to do this, but we've got little burrs. So these were my Inktense pencils in book 12, the one I've just finished. But on this one I was using a paper palette. And these are ones that I first did on, this is book 9, so this is what, back in, must have been November, December last year, because I've got my Christmas doodles in there. So if I compare the colours between the two, I've got no speckling on these ones, my old sketchbook, but I've definitely got speckling on this sketchbook. I've also got no bleed through at all. No bleed through at all. Got the colour, and yet on this one I've got all this bleed through, and you can see where those speckles are. So the water and the ink are penetrating through the paper, creating this on the back and this on the front, whereas previously it never used to happen like that. So that made me realise that Hobbycraft has changed the paper in these sketchbooks, and it's far inferior than the last one. So I was very, very disappointed by that. But I persevered, and I was getting the same issue on here. I mean, for practice it's fine, but when you're used to a certain quality, and I've got through so many of these sketchbooks, when you're used to a certain quality, you expect to get that quality again, don't you? But no, they've changed the paper in these sketchbooks so that you're getting all this bleed through and speckling going on. So I was on a bit of a roll with this pattern and these shapes and these curves and things at the time, and I was pulling out some of the little decorative flowers that I'd done on my doodle sheet in book 12 that I just showed you. but I was still getting this issue and it was really, really annoying me. So I went and left a bit of a review on the Hobbycraft website. So yeah, and I did get a response from them, and they said it was going to be passed over to the relevant people. Now, I've left reviews on Hobbycraft before and I've never had that sort of feedback come back from them, so either they've changed their system or they weren't very happy with my review. But yeah, I'm not going to be buying another one of these sketchbooks again. That's it. Shaw and Marsh, I'm not happy with that range at all. This one, ooh, this one that's marked up as Hobbycraft rather than Shaw and Marsh, I've really enjoyed using that, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But yeah, these sketchbooks, sorry, you've lost a customer with these ones. I won't be buying Shaw and Marsh range anymore. I'm done with it. I'm just done with it. I will buy the Hobbycraft brand again if I see one, but I will not buy the Shaw and Marsh stuff. It is just so disappointing. It took me ages to find a sketchbook. If any of you are still hanging around a year ago, I struggled to find a sketchbook that I liked, and I wasn't 100% happy with this sketchbook, but it would do. It was better than the others, and now, no, it's rubbish. I can't use it for what I want it. I can't use it for what I want to use it for. Anyway, I've been doing these ones with the big circles, and I thought it'd be fun to try it with little circles. Loving this pattern, loving this idea, loving the whole thing, really, yeah. I was just using my gel pens on this one. They seem to work okay in this sketchbook. I'm a little bit disappointed that I can even see my gel pen bleeding through this paper as well. It's a little bit disappointing. Anyway, yeah. This one is a variation of one that I did for a full process video a few months back. I wanted to come up with a simpler design to use for my Let's Doodle series. Wasn't happy with this design. A bit more happy with this design. I think it needs a little bit more work, but I'd really like to be able to talk you through doing this kind of cross-hatching pattern in the background. So I'll keep working on that, and when I've done it I will get that up as a Let's Doodle. This one, oh, look at that, we've got Speckling again. I was using my Daler Rowney drawing ink on this one. And gosh, yeah, I mean, there's not so much bleed through, there's a little bit here, but these were diluted, these were really diluted, and this is the colour I was supposed to get, but the pigment has just all gone horrible on this paper. So I was really disillusioned with that, so I didn't even finish colouring it in, and that's not like me to be like that. I very rarely leave a picture unfinished, but that one definitely. Then I went back to looking at the drawing from page 60 in book 12. I loved this pattern, but I wanted to come up with a better composition. Didn't feel I was there, so yeah, this page I was reworking and just struggling to think about where the curves were, so I was working over myself quite a lot on this one. I don't usually do that either. Usually if I make a mistake I just go with it, so I think what's happened is this sketchbook, I'm so upset and angry with the paper, I'm not even adhering to my usual practices. I'm giving up on drawings. I'm reworking and making a mush on the page rather than just trying to work with it and create something lovely. I'm so disappointed with this paper. I'm genuinely just so disappointed that it's really affected my drawing. So this one, I think I came up with a better arrangement. It's very poorly painted. What's going on? It's this sketchbook. I promise you it's this sketchbook. I'm so disillusioned with it. I was feeling so angry and upset. I don't think the right hand side of this picture looks as good as the left, but I'm getting there. I think this idea is developing and it might need a few more sketches to get right. So there will be more in this style at some point, but I did then decide to take a break because I realised I was falling out of love with my work at this point, and it's because of the sketchbook. So what I do from time to time when I just need a break is just a page of Zentangle patterns, and this one was very enjoyable to do. It's colourful, it's got lots of interesting things to look at, and I was just using my Hobbycraft gel pens for this one. It's not the neatest piece of work, but I did actually really enjoy doing this one, given that I've been feeling so annoyed with the other ones. But yeah, but that's as far as I've got in this sketchbook because I'm just feeling a little bit sad and down with this paper. So I won't waste the paper, but it's just really disheartening when, you know, I like to be able to move between the gel pens and the inks, and I've got to get my head around the fact that whenever I'm using my Inktense pencils, my watercolour pencils, my watercolour paints, or anything that's watery, it's going to look pretty rubbish in this sketchbook. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Right, so I did bite the bullet and use this mixed media art pad. This is just Hobbycraft's own brand. It's not Shaw and Marsh, it is just Hobbycraft. It's 250 GSM, there's 30 sheets, and yes, I plucked up the courage to give it a go. It didn't quite go to plan. I'm not really happy with the end result, but I thought I'd talk to you a bit about this mixed media paper. And I'm quite sure that, like most cartridge papers, not all mixed media pads will be the same. So this is my experience of this one. The first thing that I found was that the uni-pin pens glided so well across this paper. There was no dragging, there was no catching. I experienced quite a lot of dragging with the uni-pin on my cartridge pad. This pen just zoom across the page. I haven't experienced any kind of dragging or error where the pigment hasn't been laid down at all. The next thing that I did was I used my Inktense pencils on it, and what I found with the Inktense pencils was that they just sat on top of the page and they blended really easily. I quite often in my cartridge pad sketchbook, you can still see the pencil lines if I've pressed too hard, because the cartridge paper is very soft. And so on this paper, the pigment was literally just sitting on the top of the page. I didn't need very much water. I did feel that if I was rubbing too hard, that I might have been picking up a couple of bits of paper fibres, but looking at it now, I can't see that at all. But it's given me a very nice little watercolour effect on here. So I also tried it with my black Indian ink. That went on so smoothly, like it was beautiful. It was really beautiful, and as I was putting the ink down on the page, I was thinking, oh, I'd quite like to have a go at doing some brush lettering now. Yeah, so maybe I will in the future. Maybe that is good for this. So I've only tried it with a few different art mediums at this point. I've also tried it with the gel pen. That glides on really smoothly as well, and you can't really see any ridges in the page where I've been colouring backwards and forwards, because I haven't had to use a really hard pressure. So whilst I'm not in love with this picture, I tried to do the black background, which works really well on some of my pictures, but it didn't pop so much on this one. I think if you're going to have a black background, you don't want black in the picture as well. So yeah, but it's fine. I tried these little kind of different pattern here. The other thing I must say about this mixed media pad is no bleed through. No bleed through at all, so that's great. And the other thing is there is no paper rippling either, where I've added all that ink and all that Inktense and the water for the Inktense. There is no page rippling, but what I have got is a few millimeters turned up at the corners, but that's nothing, is it? That's really nothing. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So other than the mixed media pad, I have been working on a few full process videos and a few Let's Doodle videos to show you over August. I've also had a few pages that haven't gone quite to plan and they're now on my rework pile, but I'll show you them anyway. This is on my rework pile because it hasn't got any pizzazz to it. I think there's not enough black on there. I think that's what it is. I think with these Zentangle drawings, having a bit of contrast is really good. This one, what went wrong with this one? I have no idea. Oh, it was smudging everywhere. That's it. I was using my gel pen and I shouldn't have been. I was getting all these smudges, so I've decided to stop that and start again. I like to rework my drawings if they go wrong, and see what I can, and see what kind of different spin I can put on them. This was one that I did for Let's Doodle to illustrate how the marker pen reacts on cartridge paper when you're drawing around the inside of a circle if you don't make your lines smooth. I'm going to rework these into a drawing, so that's why I'm keeping that. This one, well, you'll see the design it was supposed to be like in a minute, but this one, what had I done? Oh, I hadn't lined up this to the right bit, but I will rework that at some point. I'm not sure if I'm making much sense. I'm a bit tired today. Right, anyway, I don't know what order I did these in. Oh yeah, this was another one that I didn't love. This one, same sort of style with these bits I love. I was using my Daler Rowney ink on the coffee cup paper, and I want to be in love with that Daler Rowney ink, but I'm really not. I love the pearlescent one here, but even that purple one is a little bit streaky. So yeah, I love the blue one, the blue metallic one, but the purple one's not great. So this was one I tried to do as, I don't even know which way up it is, with the circle sections. These three are the Let's Doodle videos that I've got ready to do for August. Very simple designs, and I'm really trying to keep them simple just to help anyone that's starting out on their journey. I will go on to some more technical, difficult ones later. Yeah, I've got my little tabs on here so I can tell you what Inktense pencils I used. I used indigo, teal and leaf green. This was the do-over from my sketchbook, and I've done this as a full process video. I love it. Yeah, I really want to refine this and make this perfect. This one I don't think I've finished yet. It's missing something. And if I find what's missing, I will put it all up as a full process video, but yeah, that's not finished. That's still on my think about pile. Oh, let's show you these in the order that I did them. Yeah. So these three are all using my Peebo acrylic paints. Love this one. only issue I had was my eraser was rubbing out my lines. I should have, yeah, I can't even remember which pen I used here. I think it was a uni-pin. And then this one, I really like it, but I don't like this bit here. Like the rest of it, don't like this bit here. So I might rework that one at some point as well. This one, I quite like this one actually. I think I need a bit more yellow over here. I wonder if I could just put a slither in there. I think what I've started to do a lot of is looking at my work and thinking, what do I like and what could I change? And I think that's probably a useful tip to carry on for yourself as well. If you've done a picture and you like it but not all of it, can you do it again but change part of it? And that's really what I'm doing with all of these, really, is I'm looking at what I've done and just trying to make them better. So I'm not really loving these Peebo paints. I like the block colour, and as I've been working with them, I've been thinking maybe I should try gouache. Has anyone tried gouache? Is that better for this kind of drawing? And what sort of art mediums do you use for your drawings? Because, I mean, they're okay, but I do need to put 2 to 3 coats on, which I don't really mind doing, but it'd be nice if you only had to do one, wouldn't it? But then does one make a masterpiece? I don't know. So I've done this as a full process video as well. I used my Daler Rowney inks, and this is thick 300 GSM watercolour paper. I like this washy effect. I didn't think I would when I was putting it down on the paper, but I really do like it. I could have probably done with a bit more definition in the dark blue. But yeah, I'm super pleased with these, where I'm not super pleased with my sketchbook. So that's the difference between buying better stuff. I will not be buying the Shore and Marsh range for anything anymore. So I have been doing some wedding prep stuff, but I haven't been videoing it because, yeah, I've been dipping in and out of it quite a lot. But yes, so I haven't shown you all of the work that I've been doing for that, but we're getting there. We're making progress, so that's really good. The bride bouquet is finalised. It just needs all the ribbons and things added. The bridesmaids' flowers are all finished, but they all need making up into the individual arrangements. We have ivory, diamante roses, foam roses, pink buds, blue buds, and some fake gypsophilia. And they need a lot of leaves. So the next project is leaves, 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 and they take a long time to make, but they really are the finishing touches to the arrangements. And then we've got a few other projects to do as well, so I will try to remember to record a bit more of me working on those, because I haven't been. I've just been dipping in and out whenever I've got 5, 10, 15 minutes to just do a little bit of work on the flowers. As for me, I have had some good days, and like today, some less good days. It comes and goes. I overdo it sometimes. I try not to, but when I overdo it, I really do struggle. Yeah, that's the only way I can put it. I can't do a lot of the things that I used to do, but there's still things that I can do. And when I'm full of energy, I love to go for long walks. And I shouldn't, but I do. And I really shouldn't carry heavy stuff back from the supermarkets either. But I've been getting a lot of help recently, so I haven't had to do a lot of it by myself. So what that's meant is I've had a lot more good days, because I haven't been overdoing it. I haven't been having to do all the cleaning and all of the cooking by myself. And I've had a lot more time to just rest and relax, which is what my body needs, really. However, I do still overdo it from time to time, and on occasions I don't sleep well, and that really knocks me out as well. And the heat as well, actually, the heat's not been great. and we've had some glorious weather here in the UK. It's been 30 degrees, and I think that's not the same if you're in America. You use Fahrenheit, we use Celsius. So it's been 30 degrees Celsius, and it has been too hot for me, and I do suffer with the heat. But yeah, I'm not one to sit and grumble, but I know that some of you are interested in how things are, so you know, that's how things are. It's much easier to sit and grumble when you're feeling tired like I am today, but you know, when I'm upbeat, and you can tell because I tend not to do the videos where there's a lot of talking when I'm feeling quite tired, because I just feel they feel very flat and there's no energy behind them, and you don't really want to be sat listening to someone that hasn't got an awful lot of oomph behind them. But you know, I'm not really one of those oomph type of people. I'm quite an introvert. But that's a whole other story, isn't it? I'm happiest when I'm at my desk. Oh, yes, talking about my desk. Right, you will have noticed that my table has been wobbling for the last month with videos. I picked myself up a new table, a really lovely solid wood table, which is £10 in the charity shop. Complete bargain. It's massive. It's over 1 metre deep, and it's probably 1.5 metres wide. And it's got all this space where I can work and I can draw and I can keep stuff there and keep stuff here, and everything's to hand, and it's perfect. But the only trouble is, it's not been happy on the carpet. I've got a carpet in the room that it's in, and my camera mount hasn't been happy either, and I don't notice. I think I've fixed the wobbles, and then I do a drawing, and then boom, I realise it's been wobbling, and I've just done all the drawings. So it's fixed now. You'll see there might be one video that comes through that was an older video that might have a few wobbles. I think we've pretty much fixed the wobbles now, so yay, no more wobbles. Right, that is it. That's all I've got to share with you this week, and I'm going to go and put my feet up now and have a well-deserved rest, and then tomorrow I'll edit this video and then I'll send it out for you all to watch. Thank you very much for joining me this week. Do give me a thumbs up if you've made it this far. Your support is very much appreciated, and I will catch up with you in a month's time with all the chatter. And yep, there'll be a Let's Doodle every 2 weeks and a full process every Tuesday every single week. Bye for now.